questions for you. When you first wake up, do you swing your legs out of bed and stand up quickly, even if you feel a little lightheaded or unsteady? Do you rush straight to strong coffee before you drink any plain water? Do you tell yourself, it's just age, when you wake with a strange headache, a slightly crooked smile, or a heavy arm and still push ahead with your morning routine? If you're over 60 and said yes to any of these, your brain and blood vessels may be under much more morning stress than you realize. I'm Dr. Laura Bennett, your Senior Heart and Strength Specialist here on Senior Health Active. Every day, I see how the way seniors move, drink, and react in the first hour after waking can quietly raise their risk of stroke. In this video, we'll walk through 7 morning mistakes that may push your stroke risk higher over time, and simple changes you can make to protect your brain. Stay with me until the end, because the last mistake is the one I worry about most as a stroke doctor. It's the, I'll just see how I feel, morning decision that for some seniors can turn a small warning into a life-changing stroke. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. When you wake up in the morning, what bothers you more? Feeling dizzy, a heavy head, or blood pressure readings that are often high? Tell me in the comments. I do read them, and they help me plan future videos that match what you're actually feeling at home. Let's start your countdown. 7. Jumping out of bed too fast. Picture this. You've been lying flat all night. Your blood has settled. Your blood pressure is a bit lower, and your brain is just waking up. The alarm rings. You swing your legs over the side, push yourself up quickly, and within seconds, the room tilts. Maybe you grab the wall, sit back down, or tell yourself, that's odd, and shuffle off to the bathroom anyway. When you stand up too fast, your blood can drop away from your head for a moment. In a healthy 25-year-old, the blood vessels tighten quickly and push pressure back to the brain. After 60, those blood vessels are stiffer. Your heart may already be working harder. That sudden drop and surge can leave your brain without steady blood flow for a few seconds and force your body to do a mini tug-of-war to correct it. Over time, this up-down roller coaster in the morning may not cause a stroke by itself, but it can add strain to vessels that are already narrow or fragile. Many of my patients say, "Doc, I've always jumped out of bed. That's just me." But their bodies are not the same as when they were 40. Here is a safer morning protocol. When you wake, first roll onto your side. Sit up slowly and stay sitting on the edge of the bed for 30 to 60 seconds. Wiggle your toes, move your ankles, take a few deep breaths, then stand up using your hands on the bed or a stable chair if you need it. If you feel dizzy, sit back down and give yourself more time. A simple pause on the edge of the bed may help your brain see a smoother flow of blood in the first critical minute of the day. 6. Skipping morning water and staying thick. Many seniors tell me, I'm not thirsty in the morning. I just start with coffee. But after hours without drinking overnight, your blood can be a bit more concentrated. Think of it like syrup instead of water. The thicker the blood, the harder your heart has to push it through already narrow pipes, and the more likely it is to form clots in fragile areas. You don't need to flood yourself. You just need to give your brain and heart a small, steady gift. The common mistake is starting the day with only coffee, tea, or sugary juice. Coffee and tea can be fine in moderate amounts, but they don't fully replace plain water. Sugary juices can also push blood sugar and triglycerides up over time, which is not what we want for stroke prevention. Here is an easy protocol. Keep a glass or small bottle of water right by your bed or on the kitchen counter where you always stand in the morning. Aim for about 1 glass, around 8 ounces, within the first 30 minutes after waking. Sip it slowly. You don't need to chug it. If you dislike plain water, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a splash of unsweetened herbal tea for taste, but keep it light and low in sugar. Your secret tip here: link the water to a habit you never forget. For example, I drink my water before I start the coffee machine, or I drink my water before I check my phone. That way you're gently thinning the blood a bit and giving your brain a smoother start each day. 5. Ignoring your morning blood pressure. I want to share a short story. Mr. Jackson, in his late 60s, told me, "Doctor, my blood pressure is fine at the clinic." When we finally asked him to check it at home in the morning, we saw a very different picture. His numbers were much higher in the first hour after waking, then settled later in the day. This pattern, called a morning surge, is something many doctors see in older adults with stiffer arteries. It quietly raises stroke risk, even when clinic numbers look okay. The mistake many seniors make is simple. They either never check at home, or they only check in the afternoon when they feel their best. They miss the morning spikes, which are often when the brain is most vulnerable. If your doctor has asked you to monitor blood pressure, try this protocol. Keep your machine where you can easily reach it in the morning. After you wake, use the slow sit method we talked about. Go to the bathroom if needed, then sit in a chair with your back supported and feet flat on the floor. Rest quietly for 5 minutes. No talking, texting, or reading. Then take 1 or 2 readings, 1 minute apart, and write down the lower one. Bring these readings to your doctor. They may adjust medicines, timing, or lifestyle steps based in part on your morning numbers. If you see repeated readings that are very high, especially with symptoms like headache, chest pain, or shortness of breath, call your doctor's office for guidance. In a moment, we'll talk about breakfast choices that can quietly push your pressure even higher without you realizing it. 4. Heavy, salty, greasy breakfast. As your first fuel, many of us grew up believing that a big, hearty breakfast was always healthy. For some seniors, that now means bacon or sausage, buttered toast, biscuits, salty spreads, and a big plate of fried potatoes. It tastes good, but for your blood vessels, it can be like pouring grease and salt straight into narrow pipes that are already under morning pressure. After you eat a very salty or greasy meal, blood flow shifts to your gut to help digestion. Fats and salt from the meal enter your bloodstream. In the hours after, your blood can become a bit thicker and more inflammatory, and your blood pressure may rise. For a brain that already has narrowed arteries, this combination can push risk in the wrong direction. The common mistake is thinking, I only eat like that in the morning, so it's not a big deal. Or, I'm used to it. But if your breakfast is repeating this pattern every day, your brain never gets a calm start. Here is a safer breakfast idea. Build most mornings around simple, less processed foods. Oatmeal made with water or low-fat milk, topped with berries and a few nuts. A vegetable omelet cooked in a small amount of healthy oil. Whole grain toast with a thin spread of avocado instead of butter. Greek yogurt with fruit and a spoon of seeds. If you like meat, aim for very small portions of leaner options and avoid processed meats like bacon and sausage when you can. A helpful trick is to cut your salty breakfast favorites in half. If you usually eat 2 slices of bacon, have 1 and add extra fruit or vegetables on the plate. Over time, your taste buds adjust and your brain and blood vessels quietly thank you. Right here, I want to pause for a moment. YouTube videos like this can only go so deep. For seniors who want step-by-step lessons, simple meal plans, and printable checklists for heart and stroke protection, I've put those inside our channel membership. You don't have to join, but if you'd like more structured help, you can tap the join button below this video and see what's included. And if you'd like a simple written checklist of these morning habits, you can also download a free one from my website, thevidatrack.com. 3. Starting your day with stress, anger, and the worst news. Have you ever woken up feeling okay, turned on the TV news, or opened your phone and within 5 minutes, your chest feels tight and your jaw is clenched? A story about politics, crime, or the economy makes your blood boil before breakfast. For your brain and blood vessels, that sudden stress is not harmless. When you feel angry or frightened, your body releases stress hormones. Your heart beats faster, your blood pressure rises, and small vessels tighten. If this fight-or-flight reaction happens occasionally, your body can handle it. If your first habit every morning is going straight to upsetting news or stressful emails, your brain is getting a daily blast of pressure at its most vulnerable time. The common mistake here is thinking, I have to stay informed, or this is just my routine. But you can choose when and how you take in difficult information. Here's a practical protocol. For the first 30 minutes after you wake, protect your brain from emotional storms. No news channels, no upsetting social media, no stressful email. Use that time for a calmer routine. Drink your water, stretch gently, maybe sit near a window and take a few slow breaths. If you like, play soft music or a short, uplifting program instead of loud, urgent news. Your secret tip: set your phone so that the first screen you see in the morning is a calm image or a simple note to yourself, like slow morning, safer brain. You can still catch up on what's happening in the world later, but your brain does not need to start the day on high alert. If videos like this help you, you can hit subscribe so you don't miss future senior health tips here on Senior Health Active. 2. Stacking strong coffee, no food, and sometimes cigarettes. Let me tell you about Linda, a woman in her early 70s. She told me, "Doctor, my morning is simple. 2 large mugs of strong coffee, a cigarette on the porch, then I might eat something around 11. When we checked her blood pressure and heart rhythm, her numbers were jumping around in the morning much more than later in the day. Caffeine in moderate amounts can be okay for many people, but strong coffee on an empty stomach can give a big jolt to your heart rate and blood pressure, especially if you are sensitive or on certain medicines. Add nicotine from cigarettes, which tightens blood vessels and damages their lining, and you have a very heavy load on your brain's blood supply right when it is waking up. Many seniors say, "But I've done this for years." Remember, your brain's arteries may not be the same as they were decades ago. A habit that felt fine at 40 can be risky at 70. If you drink coffee, aim for 1 small to medium cup first, not a giant mug. Have it with at least a small amount of food, like a piece of whole grain toast, a boiled egg, or a bit of yogurt. Take your time, sip instead of gulping it down. If you smoke, talk to your doctor about ways to cut down and eventually quit. Even reducing the number of cigarettes in the first hours of the day can lower the immediate strain on your blood vessels. Your brain likes steady support, not sharp jolts and crashes. A calmer, gentler start can make a real difference over months and years. 1. Brushing off sudden morning warning signs. Now we come to the morning mistake I worry about most as a stroke doctor. It's not a single food or drink. It's a decision. Imagine this. You wake up and notice that your smile feels a little crooked in the mirror, or your speech sounds thick like you just had dental work. Or as you reach for your phone, one arm feels heavy or clumsy. Maybe your vision in one eye seems cloudy. You sit there and think, maybe I slept funny, or I'll just have my coffee and see if it gets better. Hours pass. By the time someone calls emergency services, the brain damage is much worse. The most dangerous morning mistake after 60 is brushing off sudden, strange symptoms and treating them like normal aging. That choice to wait and see can, for some seniors, double the risk of a big, disabling stroke in the days or even hours that follow a small warning event. Here is the protocol I teach my patients, and I want you to remember it. If you notice sudden trouble with your face, arm, or speech in the morning, a drooping face on one side, an arm that won't lift or stay up, words that come out slurred or confused, treat it as an emergency, not a puzzle to think about over coffee. Do a quick check. Try to smile and look in the mirror. Lift both arms and see if one drifts down. Speak a simple sentence like, "Today is a sunny day," and listen for slurring or wrong words. If something is clearly off, do not drive yourself. Call emergency services right away. Tell them you are worried about a stroke, and note the time symptoms started. Even if the symptoms go away after a few minutes, you still need urgent care. Those mini strokes can be warning shots from your brain. Getting to the hospital quickly can mean the difference between returning home with mild changes or living with major disability. Your brain is not being dramatic when it sends sudden signals. It is asking for fast help. Now, let's gently bring all of this together. Every morning, your brain wakes up and asks for a few simple things. A slow rise to protect your blood flow, a drink of water to keep blood from getting too thick, calm and steady blood pressure, reasonable fuel instead of heavy salt and grease, a softer start to stress, gentle use of coffee, and, most important, quick action if something seems suddenly wrong with your face, arm, or speech. You do not need to be perfect. This week, choose 2 or 3 changes. Maybe you practice sitting on the edge of the bed for 30 seconds before standing. Maybe you drink 1 glass of water before your coffee. Maybe you move the news and difficult phone calls to later in the morning after your brain has had a calm start. Even in your 70s or 80s, small shifts like these can make mornings feel steadier. Getting out of bed may feel less dizzy. Your blood pressure may become more predictable, and you may be more likely to catch a stroke warning sign in time to act. I'd love to know, which morning habit from this video do you recognize in yourself, and which one are you going to work on first this week? Tell me in the comments so I can cheer you on and plan future videos that match your real life. This video is for education only and is not personal medical advice. Always talk to your own doctor about your situation.